Okay, good morning and welcome back to Writing While Black. I am Ayoka B with my co-host Angela.
Good
And
morning, good
this
afternoon, good evening.
and today we have a writer on with us, of course, an author named Jalen Tellis. Jalen, good morning. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
So, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about you, and then I'll get into the questions.
Okay. Well, my name is Jalen Tellis, and I am a author. I'm from Chicago, and I'm currently living in California right now. And I am an author. I've been writing as like an official published author for about almost a year now. January will be a year of me doing this. And right now I have published only 3 books that are currently out right now. I have my 4th book coming out in March 25th next year, which is my debut novel. And I'm currently writing my 5th novel as well.
Ah, so wait, you said Incursion is your debut.
Yeah, it's my debut novel. I've written my 3 books are novellas, like
Novellas. Okay. Okay. I was like, wait. I'm
yeah,
confused for a
I
minute.
may have worded it wrong, but yeah. So I have written novellas, and Incursion is like my full length novel.
Okay. And that's on pre-order right now. I'm jumping forward, but it's okay.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
okay. And so we're going to, I'm again jumping forward, but I'm going to make sure I have the pre-order links and everything so I can put it in notes
Okay, thank you. Okay.
when we post. Okay, so I'll back up a little bit. So how long have you been writing? I know you just talked about being a published author, but how long have you been writing?
Oh, I've been writing since I was 6 years old.
Oh, wow. And what did you used to write then?
At the time, backstory a little bit. When growing up, I was just didn't really found interest in anything yet because I was a kid. But I remember my brother who he had homemade books that he was writing at the time, and when I found those, I thought they were cool. So I'm like, oh wait, this is cool. I kind of want to do it myself. So that was like the start of my finding my talent in writing and my love for it. So at that for years I've been writing like these fun kids stories, like ghost hunting stories, like comics, my own like actual comic books, everything. And I actually wrote like a play. I wrote like a little play before, and I do remember the title. It was called The American Dream. It was, and I think I remember the plot. It was about a young boy who was writing a play, but he didn't go anywhere with it. Like nobody wanted to, do his play rather. And then his best friend actually took his play and got famous with his work, and that caused conflict between their friendship. And,
It did.
and so yeah, just for years has been the love of writing has been grew onto me for a long time, and I've always wanted to be a writer. I think me being a writer was like always my big dream growing up, and I'm still, it still feels unreal that I have actual published works like out in the world that for everyone to read. And because looking back before then now, I feel like my younger self would be like, what the heck? We have a published work right now. That's cool. I'm like, yeah, it's actually insane still to like think about it now.
So you still have some of your comic books?
I don't. I wish I
For you?
did. I
Okay.
wish I
Okay.
did.
I was wondering if like your parents had them in some little special, like,
We did.
memory box.
We did at first. I remember I still had like 4 of them. I had 4 of the comics I wrote like years ago, and then when we moved, that's when like, all of our old stuff like started to just crumble, like or just leave out, but yeah, I really did wish I still had them. But I do like remember the actual plots for them. Like it was a ghost hunting story with these twins who were ghost hunters. And I made like a whole series with them. And their names were Andre, and I think the other one was Jake, I think it was. Jake and Andre. They were twins and they just went around fighting ghosts, whatever. It was just a dumb little fun story with just action-packed suspense, everything.
So do you think you might revive the twins for an upcoming novel, The Ghost Hunting Twins?
I had that thought for a long time. Maybe I should. Maybe I
I'm like,
should.
why not?
Maybe I should because technically it's a YA fantasy story. So I'm like, okay, and I'm very familiar writing YA because I written a YA thriller. So I think about like, oh, maybe I should revive these stories like as a series in the future because I do want to in the future want to write a series with like coming of age stories. So
So is Incursion YA or no?
no, it's not. It's not.
Okay. Okay, I was curious. Okay. All right. And I have one other question. Well, I have a lot of other questions, but I have one more before I hand it over to Angela. So I wanted to I read at least a portion of Black Samurai. So I was just curious of what gave you the idea to write a Black Samurai.
Oh, good question. Great question. So um I've I always found a interest idea on Yasuke, the real Black Samurai, the actual Black Samurai who lived during the era, everything. And I guess my influence were really about just anime shows.
Mhm.
And because the book is influenced heavily by Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Demon Slayer, the anime. And just I found the love of samurai stories and Japanese culture, everything, and I wanted to really like revamp my own imagination of creating like a beautiful tale of a black samurai going through a journey of self discovery and also with vengeance. And with the main character, Genji Sato, he is basically influenced heavily with Aang from Avatar and Tanjiro, their traits of wanting to do good, wanting to protect people, wanting to their a moral code, everything. And I think that story itself is very like well guarded with family, legacy, and um good versus evil. And with the Black Samurai, I had the idea of like, I want to make a revenge story with this character go through in the beginning, go through vengeance, and just doesn't really care about the moral code anymore because he wants vengeance, he wants justice from his family and his father. Go through this character ride of wanting to find himself, hope, and have a brand new a legacy to achieve.
And can you tell me again, what is the name of the Black Samurai you mentioned? Because I want to.
Oh, it's called Samurai Reborn, the Black Samurai.
So congratulations on your 1 year anniversary of publishing your first book coming up in January. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
congratulations. Oh, you're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I really appreciated in your acknowledgments in Samurai Reborn, which I read, that you acknowledged the reader. I thought I maybe I don't read acknowledgments often, but that kind of like I was like, oh, thank you very much. And the thank you for giving me a chance, whether you like it or don't like it. I'm in the process of growing. So I like as a writer, I can really relate to the anxiety or the nervousness. I haven't published my first novel yet. of, are people going to like it? Are people going to hate it? Forget it. I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah.
So I really related to that and appreciated that sentiment. Another thing that I was kind of curious about, this is all in the back matter, but I noticed that some of the in memory was connected to your character names. So I was kind of curious about the character names. Do they represent people who were significant in your life, or like
Oh,
how did you come up with the names, and who are the people that you have created this work in memory of?
good question. Well, it does not connect with anything in my personal life.
Okay.
My idea, my how I structured the story was when I did re-edits of the book this year, earlier this year, I wanted to make the story uh, as if Genji was telling his story, was the one that he told his story with, through people. And as his character, his moral code, he wanted to how the story ends and how the story goes with the beginning and the end. I feel like it was appropriate for him to pay homage to the people that really affected his life, really made impact his life. Of course, his real parents who actually passed, and of course, Ken Sato, who saved his life and adopted him to break him as his own. So he wanted to pay homage to and love and memory to my real parents and the man that made me who I am today.
Ah, so I thought that was, I didn't realize that was actually part of the story. I thought that we were breaking the third or the fourth wall and coming out to you. Okay, all right. And then the other thing is, hello, fellow Midwesterner. I'm from Detroit, so I heard Chicago. Did you somewhere I got the impression that you were involved with filmmaking or writing films or something like that? Is that how you ended up moving from Chicago to, you said LA, you somewhere in Cali?
Yeah, LA, California, LA. No, so yeah, before writing, I did that directing before. I've written seven screenplays. And I've filmed 6 films before. They're not available anymore. But yeah, so when I stopped doing writing at that time, I fell in love with the art of directing. So I did that for a while, and the directing, the filmmaking really bring back the spark of me want to write. And when I wrote The Black Samurai, I wrote that during the time where I finished my 6th and last film. And that kind of grew a spark, like, man, I missed this true passion of what I wanted to do for the first place, was to actually become an author. So I made the choice to transfer from being a director for being an author. And when moving from Chicago to California, that was just a personal thing, of mine. So it does not, connect anything. But me going to California did open a lot of doors for me, to connect with people in the industry. I met a lot of great friends who are friends to this day from directing, and made me great people as me being a writer as well.
Something else in your acknowledgments that you talk about is, you say, I loved every bit of the process, whether you like it or not, I enjoyed it. And you kind of allude to this idea of growing and developing as a writer and getting in and improving your craft. Hey, this is my first effort. So I'm kind of curious about, especially when you talk about the films and, my 6th film, what is your process, or what has been your process for growing and developing in your craft?
I would say it was mainly to learn the mistakes of your past work and to improve for the next one. Me being honestly, even though I love the story, I love the Black Samurai. That is my first, and that will always be a memory. Like, man, this is there was my first work, my first book, and I take pride in that a lot. But the reason why I said that in the acknowledgments is because I knew, well, now I know that I could have done a lot way better with that story now that I learned, now that I know a lot more than what I know before. I I've made a lot of mistakes when I was writing that book at that time. And in some way, as a writer, it's like that's some type of regret that, man, if I could did this and did that, it would have been, and like me, I don't want to like go back and keep, changing a lot of things, because if I keep going back in the past, then I can't improve in the future. So the great way for me as a writer to learn from my mistakes is to learn from them and improve for my next works. And that way, when someone does read that book, they will be like, wait, he has more works. Oh, wait, this book, right? This recent book is a lot better than that one. And it's more of to show my craft and the process of from then to now. And mainly, to advice for my, aspiring writers out there, do not be nervous or don't feel like that, just because it's your first work, that doesn't mean that it's totally bad at all. Like, don't feel discouraged because, people may say that this first work may be bad or not. Like, it doesn't matter. You wrote it, be glad, because listen, in my opinion, writing is a skill. It is a skill, and everybody can write a book, but it takes craft and time to create a story. And you actually wrote a story. You actually wrote a book. Like, and that itself is a big accomplishment. You took the time and effort to create a story that you loved, that you've been in your mind for God knows how long, and then you actually put it in a published finding. Like, that's insane, and you should be proud of yourself.
Yeah, you should be proud of yourself. I thought that the story was well told. I thought it was
Thank
there
you.
was a beginning, a middle, and an ending. I personally was kind of fascinated by the 3 acts and 3 chapters in each act, because I like the number 3, but also I kind of felt like it seemed like a tool for moving the story forward. So I appreciated it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. One thing another thing I wanted to ask you about, I think that you and Ioka met in some sort of writer support system. And I know that we're in a Black writers group. I'm curious about what type of support you feel that you need as a writer, and from where do you get support now?
The support I really need is to just connect with, like being like to relate to people, relate with. I feel like, when I first became an author, when I first became a published author, I felt like, man, this is so hard, everything, like, man, like publishing or marketing is hard. And, when I kept joining these communities for authors, I'm like, wait, I'm not the only one who's dealing with this. There's other authors out there that are doing the exact same thing. And, when I joined this community of Black authors, I felt like, man, this is a great community where we can just be ourselves, connect with one another, and to get that emotional support system, because we're all going through a lot with marketing, and it's hard enough that with us doing everything on our own, it's more difficult than ever. So it's great to have that emotional support with one another as writers, to encourage each other, and bring one another up. That way, we don't feel discouraged or embarrassment, or like just like man, maybe writing is for me. Like, no, writing is for you. It's hard now, but it'll all be worth it when you do get up there, get big.
So when you get up there and big, what does that look like to you? Like, what is it when you like, I made it? What does that look like? What does it feel like? What's the sound like? What does that mean?
Well, I'm not saying that I'm big now, but I'm saying like
When you have this vision of like, I'm gonna be up, it's hard now, but one day I'm gonna be up there. But where is up there? What does that look like for you? What is your, I made it as a writer?
Me doing this, me getting paid doing something that I would do for free, basically. And me, doing what I love every day, and writing stories every day, creating crafts and these structures with these characters, this journey, the world building, where I would do for free, where I would do like in my spare time, and I think as in the creative space, is a pleasure, and I'm grateful that when that does happen, when that vision does happen, you know, like I'm doing something that I will be doing when like when I'm at school, or like in my spare time after I get off of my day job, I can just write and whatever. And now I'm actually doing this full time and me getting paid doing this.
Two more questions. I know, Ayoka, you said you had some more, but we talk often, or we've started talking more about marketing tips, sharing marketing tips, writer to writer or published author to non-published author. So I'm curious about what marketing tips or what experiences that you've had that you feel maybe have been, effective. Like I might want to pursue that further. And then also I'm curious about your writing practice. Like, do you get up and just write for an hour in the morning? Do you write for 4 hours in the evening? Do you write whenever you have time? So those are my two questions, and I'll mute myself and let you answer.
Okay, great question. So for the first question, tips for marketing, I'm still currently learning my ways in marketing, even like because it's been, I would say like my advice is to just be creative with it. Be creative with it, you know, try new things. And you could, for instance, like get inspirations from other authors, how they market their works, and try to use their tactics on with yourself to see if that works or not. You know, it's more like more in like learning new like experiments, test the waters to see how things operate, see how it works or not. You know, obviously to connect with other readers that have their accounts, see, you know, hey, I love your stuff. I would love for you to read my books, or, you know, just have a connection with, you know, other readers, so that you feel like, oh, wait, okay, this person seems nice, you know, their work seems interesting. Let me read the stuff. And it's more like you just be creative and testing the waters. For me, I've done that so far, and so far everything seems okay. It's working in a way where I've had people reading my works, and it's mainly just because marketing is a very hard thing to crack, and I don't think there's a right answer for marketing, because it's a lot of ways you can do to put yourself out there. For instance, like know people, connect with other writers, or contact bookstagrammers, you know, readers that you feel that your work could, I would say, could match their type of taste, and their like when they read their books in a way. So I think there's no really right or wrong answer. Just, and to answer your other question, my writing practice. So I'm gonna I'm gonna be very honest. Like for one, I don't outline my books. So when I write, way that I work, it's mainly I try to write 1,000 words a day, and I typically write for like an hour or two, and I do these different writing sessions. I do 4. So each times those sections, I write for 25 minutes. And each time those are up, I take a 5-minute break and I redo them for 4 sessions until the hour hits, or if I hit my goal I want to hit for my writing. So it's like doing the four of those for a hour or two, and write for 25 to 30 minutes, and like that. And, you know, typically trying to get out 1,000 words a day.
Okay. You mentioned bookstagrammers and reading and that sort of thing. Do you do a lot of reading yourself?
I do, actually. I have a full stack of books right now, one right here, I'm one left right here, and I love reading. I'm currently reading a thriller right now. Is Middle of the Night by Wright Sager at the moment, and it's a good read. I just finished. Like a week ago. I finished The Shining by Stephen King. Great
Okay.
novel, by the way. Great story. Great novel.
So you stay in your genre, basically. You read what you write.
Yes, I do. Like
Okay.
mainly I typically read horror, thrillers, sci-fi, and fantasies. I've read a sci-fi story called Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. That one's a great, by the way. I do recommend reading that, And yeah, so I do typically read what I write mostly to like at least get inspiration, of course, and to see how they write their stories, see how they structure their work, see how that works, everything. And I try to use it in my own writing
Mhm.
and to like um use it in my own way as well, basically.
Okay. And earlier you were saying like you didn't quite want to say it out loud that you didn't outline your books. I mean, that's totally fine. You have different types of writers. Some are plotters. That's what they call a plotter that outlines their stuff. Some are pantsers that just go where the inspiration takes them. I'm
Yeah.
usually that kind of writer as well. I've gotten to where I do a little bit of plotting, like I might know there are a couple of plot points that I want to hit, but outside of that, I just go where the story takes me.
Let me
Yeah.
say, hold on, Ayoka, that's called a plantser, and that's what I am, like between plotting and
Yeah,
pantsing. Okay.
I
So
know,
we're both plantsers.
but usually when I plot stuff, I've done it after I've already started writing.
Is because when I had this conversation with a other author before, about not me doing outlining and everything, they asked me if like, do you don't outline in general? Like, no, I don't outline in general. I feel like with me, when I outline, I know that the story is going to change whenever I write my stories. 'Cause it does change. Like even though, because my idea for it, my original idea for Incursion, like my original ending of that story, changed as I was writing it. But when I was halfway through the novel, I knew that the ending was going to be how the story was going. Like, man, this ending is kind of boring. I wanted to change it up, so I did. I changed it when I was thinking that when I was at work, my day job. I thought about the idea at there. My wait, this is a great idea. Let me come back and just write it down. And because I feel like because I know the plot from beginning to end in my head all the time, so I don't really need to write it down on paper if I have it keep on like responding in my mind over and over again. So, and also I think it comes to it with all the years of me writing for a long time, and I've been just like being numb to it, like naturally good at making up stories in my head. So it comes naturally. And I'm not trying to say this as a bracket, I'm just saying this like for my experience, I've grown on to making stories very like naturally in my mind where like, okay, I don't really need to write it down. I just have it stuck in here.
And the directing might have helped with that too.
Oh
You
yeah.
know how you want it to unfold and you see it in your mind's eye.
And with the directing too is like it's a visual telling the story. So when I do write my books, I envision it as if it was like an actual film as well.
I
So
do too.
So with all my stories, I feel like, man, these could be great as movies as well. And directing did help with that more because of when I write a script, it's like you're basically telling more than showing as if you're writing it like a novel where you have to show, more a lot, everything.
We like to ask, what does writing while Black mean to you?
Okay. When I saw clips of you guys interview, I'm like, okay, well, I can't really say, can't really put this question. So,
Right.
so for me, writing around Black, I feel like is to represent, basically, is to be that influence to either young Black writers that, hey, we all can do this too. We all can do this as well. We all can become writers as well. We all can have these stories or stories to tell in a world where, I can really have a positive influence to people, young Black writers. If you have a dream, if you have a passion in writing, then please do it because your voice matters. And if you have a story to tell it because you never know. Your story might be someone's favorite of all time,
Right.
literally. Like, and I had this like little analogy, as if like you have a book that they wrote, and you have 15 people reading it at once right now. Those 14 people don't like it. They say it's garbage, it's trash, it's whatever. But you have that one person that's crying, that's like, this book is one of the greatest books I ever read in my life. That will hold more weight than the other 14, because
Right.
you made this person feel something by reading your work, and they're crying, they're in tears, they feel joy with the characters you wrote, with the building, with the world that you built. And that itself builds a lot more weight than the other people that say this book is trash. Because, like, anybody can say it's trash, whatever. But just having that feeling, like, man, I made this person feel happy with my book, it means a lot more. So it's simply like to show Black writers that, your voice matters, your writing, your storytelling needs to be heard. And don't be afraid of, being nervous about, man, maybe what if nobody read my book? Don't worry, they will. Trust me.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Of course.
Okay, I have another quick question I've been trying to avoid asking, because although people ask me this all the time, when
Yeah.
you're talking, Jalen, sometimes it feels like, oh, I've been doing this for 6 years, or back when I was a young person, and when I'm looking at you, you look very, very young to me. And so I'm curious about your age.
She edging
I
up
am
to it, tiptoeing.
I am 20 years old. I'm about to turn 21 in 3 days, actually. 3 days.
Okay.
Thank you. And
Yes.
I know when I say years later, when I was like a kid, like growing up, writing was just my life for years. So I'm like, okay, when I was younger, years ago, I know I sound like I'm like 50 years old, 40, like I've been doing this for a long time, everything.
Okay, all right, that's good. It's good. I love it. I'm so excited about your career. You have so much in front of you, so that's exciting. Yeah,
Thank
the
you.
time looks
Y'all
like
too. You guys too, age don't matter. It doesn't matter how long matters.
it's throwing the towel because I'm old.
It doesn't matter. You guys can still do it and create a great story. That doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
absolutely, absolutely. You're right. When I was reading the end matter of your book, and you were talking about your brother and the books he created, so I'm thinking it's an older brother. But how old
Yeah.
is your brother? Okay,
He is a 28, 20. So
he's much older than you.
Okay.
yeah. 7 years. When he was around like 15, 14, around that was when I discovered the homie books, when he was, during that time. I want to give my brother credit, because he was the one that helped build my craft and writing. Because if it wasn't for him, I don't think I would have loved writing as if, because he did it. He had that passion for a long time, and I think that just like transferred to me, his to mine, because I feel like right now he's doing these other things right now.
Oh, so he's not writing now.
No, he's not.
Okay.
I think like I remember like he even told me that he's proud that he's doing this, and I'm glad that I've
Picked
transferred.
up the mantle.
Yeah, picked the mantle. So yeah, it's just so I had to give him that credit in my book, because like, this was because of him and his influence in my life, really like created this person within me, not just for writing, but as a person. He has became like a positive influence in my life for a long time. He helped me throughout a lot of things. So if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be the man, or the young man I am right now, honestly. Why I say young man, because I know people be like, wait, you were 20, you're not a man. Like, okay, like
Threshold just barely, but you passed it over the line. Right,
thank you.
right. Are you like you talked about your relationship with your brother? Are you in relationship with other black male writers?
At the moment, not really. I've been I've been trying to, get in connecting with, other Black writers. I am now that I'm in the server with
Ayoka.
Ayoka, and amazing. I'm these talented Black writers are these are great people, amazing, heartwarming people, and I'm very grateful to be in the server with them. And you know, it's more of a like I've been really involved with like the diversity all my life, so it's cool to be around that. But at the moment, it feels kind of difficult to like connect with Black male authors.
Mhm.
It's
I was,
what he's
oh,
referring to is we're on Discord. It's called We Be Writing, and it's for Black indie authors. But I'm still learning how to navigate Discord, and I haven't quite incorporated that into my life yet, like regularly going on there. And I do really want to leverage that and take advantage of it. I just haven't quite yet. I went in at some point and posted opportunities for indie authors. So I posted if they wanted to be interviewed on Writing While Black, and I posted what I'm doing over on TikTok, interviewing YA authors. And Jalen responded to the Writing While Black call.
I'm totally with you with like, yeah, I'm still trying to navigate Discord because I don't use the server a lot. I don't use the app a lot because for me it's been like a kind of like a hard way to like just find a way how to use Discord. And
Yeah, it's
because
different.
yeah, it's different. It's very different. And I am like trying to stay away from the like the media a little bit to just refresh my mind to like touch grass, go in the real world like that. And I don't really go on Discord most of my time, but I do try to go in there to talk to people, try to have great conversations with everyone, everything. And even when I saw that you guys posted that, wait, this is a great opportunity, and it was great to meet new people, to discuss everything. It was great, and it's just mainly just to balance um the time management on to use Discord to manage
Right.
that and to manage your own personal stuff.
Right. And that's probably why I haven't really dug in, because I feel like, okay, this platform is really different, and it's going to take me time to really understand how to move around in it and really understand how to best use it. And I can't afford time suck. But I do it because I appreciate that she built that space just for us. So I do want to, yes, I'm gonna put that back on the list.
just in terms of putting yourself out there, I was kind of fascinated. I read Dear Therapist, and I was kind of like, okay, so I didn't exactly know what to. I'm like, is this like a real letter to your therapist? I've been in therapy before. Like, I was just kind of like very curious about that piece and why you decided to publish it.
Oh,
So can
so
you talk a little bit about that?
man, so Dear Therapist, that is basically it is a story kind of. It's more of like a letter, like a character that I created that sends a letter to his therapist, telling him about his life, everything. It's about what he's going through currently. And I'm still trying to do that. I want to do like a volume 2 where they do meet face to face in their sessions to talk about what what like the letter mean to the character. And with that, actually, is funny because during that time when I wrote that, it I would say it does relate to myself in a way at that time where like it had very personal things that I've put on there because I feel like, writing for me is me. Like is I find love and joy with the art of writing, and I see writing as art. The mainly, I know writing is a product. I know writing, sometimes can be a business, whatever. But sometimes I don't see it as that. I see writing as like this true art, this artistic value that you can express yourself in a way you can craft, like a story. And I've known that with your therapist, I've wanted to really show that in a way where put myself into the character. So some of that stuff it did resonate with real life issues I had at that time, and to help grow myself in a way where am right now in this moment.
No, I think that artists, if you're not gonna be vulnerable, then what are you doing it for?
Yeah.
Because anybody can write, because otherwise I feel like it's surface level, which means anybody can write it. It's not giving any of
You.
yourself. And on the other side of that, as the writer, I feel like, hell, we working our stuff out sometimes when we write, we working through some things that sometimes they're there and sometimes you don't. Sometimes when you're writing, things bubble up and surface and come out on the page that you weren't anticipating. You're like, oh, okay, I probably needed that.
Yeah.
I think that's what art is. I mean, we're always working it out, exploring the work. I mean, that's what it is. That's what the
Yeah.
work is.
Of course. And that's why I feel like nowadays, like people don't really, well, not all people, but like most certain people don't really see the artistic value of writing. And because I watched this interview with this one author. I'm not gonna say the name, but they said that writing feels like when you try to a garden, like when you're trying to plant your garden, whatever, and it's like you're doing it because you just wanted to see the result, and you're not having fun with it. You're just doing it to see the result.
Okay.
And to me, I found that kind of like I took the wrong way with that. I feel like, with me, when I'm writing, I enjoy the whole thing. I enjoy the entire process
Journey.
story. Because when I think of an idea and if I think of a scene where I know this is going to be a great scene, I can't wait to write this, like the journey of to get through to get to that point of that scene, the journey, the process, like you're like a like suspense, like, oh, I cannot wait, like it's coming, like 5 days later or tomorrow, like, wait, I'm here, let's go, I'm happy. And then when that scene you're writing turns out the way that you imagine is like perfect. So I would say to writers that do not do not just write to see the result, enjoy the process, because is even though writing is hard, let me say that now, writing is difficult, a little bit difficult, but it's all about having fun or enjoying the process, enjoying the journey with, you're doing the experience with these characters that you are creating, and you're writing this world that nobody can understand but yourself, because this world that you created it means something to you, and in a way where you're letting these characters that you write experience that the journey in this world that in this reality that you envision is great. So, and I see that as well, like going back into the Black Samurai. Genji is in a way does resonate with myself. Genji in the part, he doesn't like to mess up, and when he did mess up with his time with one of the Avengers, like he is hard on himself. He's hard on himself. That's what I am right now. Like I hate messing up. Is annoying, and I'm very hard on myself. So sometimes, but most of the time I just want to do better learn from my mistakes and to do better, because I know I can do better. I know this is not at my best. I know I can do a lot more than what I did before, you know.
Oh, yeah, and there was a saying in there, I can't remember it, about it came up twice that I noticed about failure. It was something, oh, I should have highlighted it. Because when it came up the second time, I'm like, should I be paying? Is this a message for me? So now I'm gonna have to go back in the book and find it. But it was something like, you can't make mistakes. He had the conversation with his dad, and then he had the conversation with someone else.
I don't know if this was the exact same lines, but I think it was like, if you are hard on yourself, then you stop yourself from being better.
Right. That's it.
So
right.
That was that quote that it really like relate to me as well, because like, yeah, because Genji, he is so determined on wanting to like, because he knew that he could, he could defeat Takashi in a way where like he was trained to do, but out of anger, out of rage, he was blinded by his emotion. So that's why in the prologue where his dad was like, you are a great fighter, but you act out of emotion, and in the real fight, when you do that, you're going to lose. And in the future, he did. So it's like him trying to learn to like use the stuff that his father taught him, and is a way where, of course, his father and his partner was like, yeah, you are a great fighter, and don't be too hard on yourself, because if you're too hard on yourself, then you're gonna start yourself up being better, because you're gonna keep telling yourself that you're this, you're that, and you're gonna make yourself like more discouraged.
Okay, so one other thing before Incursion, I just wanted to, and maybe we should do this offline, but I think like what my husband writes and what you write, there may be some overlap. So I wanted to know if it was okay to reach out, and maybe you guys might connect. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so let's hear about Incursion and your pre-order.
Incursion. Wait, where is it? Right here. Okay.
Oh, we can see
right
it.
here.
Oh wow! What does this say on the back?
It has a quote. Is how far will you go to know the truth?
The truth.
It's the quote and like the subtitle of the story, and the one to basically see the full cover. Like, so the story is the main character, his name is Riley Marson. He's a YouTube conspiracy theorist, and he is on a quest to investigate the missing ufologist Timothy Hall, who went missing, and because he feels like there's been some other secrets that has caused him to go missing. And once Riley goes more deep into the truth on how Timothy got missing, he realized that Timothy found real life evidence of a potential alien invasion that's happening in 10 days. So Riley now has the truth. He needs to warn the world about the invasion before the time ticks down, basically. And with the saying, how far will you go to know the truth? It's basically is symbolizes the way where curiosity, we are human, as us people, we are very curious on knowing the true intentions of our reality, how we live and everything. And there's a lot of secrets that has been kept from us about the actual further in the world. So with this story, it does dive deep into that, and it tells us, like, it asks the question, like, how far will you go to know the exact truth? And maybe is it a good thing that maybe the truth is too hard for us to understand? Because as humans, we fear what we don't understand. We fear the unknown. We fear what we don't know. We fear what we can't comprehend in our own minds and in our own perception. So this story does dive deep into like the true telling of conspiracies, secrets, and just theories of that may or may not be true. And with the alien invasion, like, it does dive deep into that as well.
Okay. And when you said it's coming out in March 2025?
Yeah, it's coming out in March 25th of next year.
Okay.
And fun, and actually, like, I had this idea for a long time. I had the idea I wanted to make a alien sci-fi story since middle school. I just never knew how to approach it in a way. Like, if I didn't know, like, if I was going to make this to like a film or anything. I didn't know. But when I became an author, a official author, like, okay, this is the opportunity to create this because it's been in my mind for a long time. So let me finally approach this story. Because because honestly, this story really made me nervous. Like, like, in a way where, like, it kind of scared me in a way where, like, man, I'm very like, it's more like being intimidated by how the story is, because it goes deep into the real life of how we walk on this earth. So it does tell a lot of that. So I'm like, well, as a writer, I'm up for a challenge, and if it scares you a lot, then that story needs to be told. So.
And where can they pre-order from?
On Amazon, Barnes Noble, and I do have a website where all the links are.
Oh, okay.
For everything, yeah.
Okay.
Is the website Visionary Productions? What is Visionary Productions?
Oh, Visionary Productions was it was a production studio that I made for myself when I did my directing phase at the time. But I still use the name to as like a business email for myself. And no, the website is JalenTellisBooks.com.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any last thoughts, or is there something you want to talk about that we haven't asked you about, or
At the moment, the thoughts not no, but I do want to say, because I know it may be announced hopefully by the time this interview is up, but when I mentioned that I am writing my new novel right now, I'm in the last chapter, so it will be done hopefully by next week. It's a horror novel. It's a horror novel, and it hopefully it will be announced by the time this is uploaded. So it's called Mind's Abyss. Mind's Abyss is a horror novel that's going to be out next year on the 14th of October, like after Incursion.
Okay.
So that's something to look forward to. Yet I can't say what it's about.
Okay.
It's still in process, but yeah.
Okay. You rolling, Jalen. You rolling.
So wait a second. Is Incursion, is that just the cover, or is that the actual book?
Oh no, yeah, no. This is the actual cover. This is the actual cover of the books.
Okay. And what about inside? Is the actual text in there?
Yeah. So the actual, let me see this.
Is it hardcover?
Yeah. It's hardcover.
Oh.
It's the actual.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, and so what is in between it being out now? Like, why? What? It seems like it's such a long turnaround to me. If you already have it.
So I chose this book to be out next year in March because I've already published a lot of books this year. I published 3 works, so I feel like I didn't want to like overwhelm my readers, so I wanted it to be out.
Okay.
To like have a new book out, next year, everything. So, and I ordered me a copy of it that way I can use it to market the book, and use it like
But
as a
honestly,
collection.
Angela, that's the amount of time you should give it. I mean, he's on the right timeline.
Girl, when love soiree, as soon as I would be like, it's out. Girl, it's out. I don't know if I have the wherewithal to like be like in a year from now. I don't know. I'm like,
Yeah, I see, because
well, he's doing the pre-order, so that's a big deal.
right.
And then and you do want to you do want to order like proof copies of your book to see if the
Right.
like the binding, the spine is,
Exactly.
the way it is before, when you publish it, because you don't want it to look off a little bit, so you want to have a proof copy of it to see if it look good, then you can order your official other copy. So that's why I had
Yeah.
this, and everything looks great.
It looks great. It does look
Thank you so
great.
much. Thank you so much.
Did you design the cover?
I do. I make my own covers. I do design my own covers.
So
Oh, sorry.
no, I didn't mean to cut you off. I want you to pick it back up and take the dust jacket off. I wanted to see what it
What's
looked
like? Is there a
under.
design cover underneath, or is
Not
it
really.
just black
There's no
or cream?
no. There's really no. Hold on, let me check it out. There's
Okay,
no.
the design is on the dust jacket. Okay.
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
normal gray binding that has the name and everything. Yeah.
Oh, okay, but it has it on the spine. Okay.
I do want to eventually in the future have a cool design for the hard binding as well in the future when I do write my other books in time frame. But of course, this is my first book, so well, not my first book, but my first novel, everything. So just to keep simple.
Yeah, I don't have a hard cover of mine, but I plan to do one just for me. If it doesn't, I don't even care if I put it on sale. I want one for my library, a hard cover.
Yeah, it's when I first had the first actual copy of The Black Samurai, I'm like, this is insane. Like, I have a official published novel, well, book. I'm a writer. It's like, but like, because it really made me kind of emotional because like I remember all the homemade books I made. Like I had papers, like homemade papers I just folded up into like a hamburger style, just write pencil, and now
You stay.
say yes, paperless, or glue. I use glue as well. I use glue and I use a
You
yeah.
fancy.
I did use glue at some point, but I knew it was kind of hard because it kept tearing art a little bit because how the glue was overused a lot. So I had to use, staples as well. And to compare to that to when I was like, at the time now, it's official printing typed right, like story, the words official, everything official. Like, man, this is and even each time when I have my new books with me, it's like it still feel unreal. And when I first had Incursion, it's like, man, this is now like an official novel, and it's just it still feels unreal to see my books in my hand and you just feel it, grab it, hold it, and to just see it on my shelf right here, along with my other books.
Right.
It is like, Jalen, you are a writer. You are a writer. You did this. You wrote this, and be proud of yourself.
I feel you. I'm the same way. I'm like, I'm gonna put mine.
Oh, well, that cover is nice. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Wait,
My
I can't
girlfriend
see.
did
I
it. She's
can't
a
see.
painter.
Hold on. Wait, I can't see. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, yes.
That's really
Yeah,
nice.
I know the feeling. Yes, I still
Is it
feel all tingly.
is it out right now? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's out.
What's the name of it? What's the title?
Oh, Love at Second Sight.
Second Sight. Okay.
Mhm.
I want to put that in my cart.
I was looking at your web page, Jalen. It's really pretty, your website. I like when you come on, it's like pre-order, available. I was enjoying
That's
the
right. He
design
gets
of it.
right to business. He gets right to business. Pre-orders
still-
links right here.
And then the books laid out, and you can buy this one now. It's a nice design. It's
Thank you so much.
nice.
Thank you. Yeah, when I was designing my website, I wanted to like, okay, how original and how creative I can make it be me in a way. We're like, okay, have this cool artistic stuff in the background, and just have my book straight. Like, yeah, it's right here. You guys can, want to check it out. All the information is here. do your thing. When you want to choose a book, you can choose a book. It's like I made it to where it's like my own type of like library.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, here's my books. Here's about me. Here's some reviews that I have for my book, and everything is just straightforward.
Okay. And you do a newsletter? Like I saw that there was something like where you could stay in touch. What did I see? Do you do
Yeah.
a monthly or a regular newsletter or something?
Yeah, so with that, I used to do it. Last year I used to post out newsletters a lot, but I just stopped doing it because not a lot of people was signing up. So I kept just doing it.
It felt like a waste of time and like you was just doing it for you.
Yeah. And so eventually when I do get new readers, when I do get more exposure, when I do have more people want to sign up, I will, go back to it again. Because I did love it to like to make the newsletters, everything. It was very cool. It's like to like making it like an actual news article, like updates everything. So it was very great to do at the time, but I feel like if no one's gonna see it, then why not do it,
What's the point, right?
You can spend that time writing
or promoting.
Yes, yeah.
Because now that you have all this lead time, you have so much time to promote Incursion because you have so much time to promote it on pre-sale. Are the pre-sales going well? Are you like what is well? I don't know. Like if you sell one, is that good? 100?
I actually don't really know until the book comes out. I don't really know how many sales I made until the book is out. So I won't know until next year when like for like a few days after the book is out, I will see like, okay, how well is it doing right now? I mean, I'm just hoping that people are like, okay, let me pre-order, And I do have a lot of promotional stuff for Incursion in the vault right now. I'm just waiting for the right time to put it out there. Everything. I don't want to just put it all in just 1 month. I feel like that's like over biting
saturating the market. Yeah. You want to tease, schedule it out.
Exactly, yeah. So I want to do that, do like wait until I feel like wait till like next month or December, January, February until the month of March comes.
I just really want to say this was very inspiring because you are so excited and you have this exuberance. I'm like, yeah. All this passion and joy for doing it. And that's what it's about, right?
Thank you so much. Yes. It's because if you're not passionate about it, then why do it?
Then why do it? Exactly. Why do it?
It's more like when I talk about the process of writing, is like if it really feels something within me, like I'm talking about what I love doing, and I try to like word in a way where like I don't want to sound too excited. I want to sound a little bit more professional in a way. We're like, okay, let me be excited, but not be like overdoing it a little bit. Let me just stay calm. Like, okay, here's
be excited, Jalen. Be as excited as you want to. You earn that.
Thank you so much, and then you too, you guys too.
Excited when you're excited. They're like, oh, I need to get this book because he is just
too excited.
And
you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, is where I use it to like promote the book and everything. I haven't used it in like a while, but I do want to tend to like use it again in the future because I want to do where like I do read excerpts from my books before the book comes out. That way, it builds more hype to it and everything. And I did that. I did 2 excerpts reading from The Black Samurai and then my YA thriller Reckoning as well.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So I kind of feel like Ayoka, you said you were talking about the joy, and that's why I didn't ask. One of the questions I usually ask is, what do you love most about writing, and what's your greatest challenge? But you've been so enthusiastic and so energetically exuberant about your joy as a writer. I didn't want to bring it down by asking about your challenges. So
I know. To answer the question, like, so of course, even though I love writing, there is challenges that comes with it. Not everything is easy. Like definitely the way of structuring the story seeing if it sounds good, if like you got to worry about the pacing. Got to worry about the pacing is great with the story. You got to worry about it's like it's the dialogue good, or is I worry about is the structure of the whole story is from start to finish is great, but that's only just for to do more brainstorming, to do more ideas, to see if certain ideas work or not. With me, since I don't do outlining, the ideas definitely comes in and out with me. Like, if I have like maybe like a straightforward idea within my books, when I'm writing, there's always like a new idea always comes out. Like, okay, maybe do this. Like, okay, let me do this real quick. And usually the new ideas are better than my original idea. Like when I'm writing my new book right now, there are so many new ideas that came in my mind every day. We're like, okay, these are great for the story, okay, because it made sense. I have one question. You guys doing the podcast is very great, and it's very amazing, and is like you guys are bringing any authors to like express themselves, to discuss great things, discuss their writing and everything. I just want to ask you guys, like, what made you guys want to start the podcast, and do you guys have any goals for the future, that plans to expand your podcast more?
I have a quick answer. My passion is supporting Black writers. I feel like, supporting Black writers and supporting Black writing. So that's why for me, Ayoka.
I mean, yeah, to support Black writers. We just launched last month. It seems like it's been long. I mean, we've been recording longer, but it's very new. But I wanted a platform that Black authors could come on and share their writing, especially indie authors, because we know what that is, that life is. And I just wanted Angela and I would have all these conversations and discussions about what we were reading and talking about writing and process. And so we were like, let's do a podcast.
Share with the world.
But I've really, really enjoyed it. It's been so much fun. And we don't always have guests, but lately we've had a lot of guests. And so it's been really great to meet authors, and we want to bring some other folks on. We had a bookstore owner, so just different aspects of the writing world, I guess.
That is amazing. That's great. And that's great that you guys launch officially, and it's amazing, and I'm very happy for you guys, and I'm very excited to see the future holds for your podcast and everything. It's great.
So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate the honor to talk about it, and the opportunity to want to podcast. Thank you so much.
You were a great guest.
Yes, you were. And we'll see everyone next time.